Welcome to the Explainer. So today, we're going to unlock a new way to think about one of the most famous ideas in all of psychology, but with a really critical twist. Let's dive in.
Let's kick things off with a pretty bold idea. What if knowing the famous principles of persuasion just isn't enough? What if, without the right blueprint, using them could actually be leading you down the wrong path entirely? All right, first things first, let's just do a quick refresher on the powerful toolkit that Robert Cialdini gave all of us in his classic books, Influence and Persuasion. These are the fundamentals we've all come to know and love.
See, the reason these 7 principles are so incredibly potent is that they're basically hardwired into our brains. They aren't just clever tricks, they're the mental shortcuts, the heuristics we all use every single day to make decisions.
You know the ones. There's the magnetic pull of reciprocity and liking, the undeniable power of social proof and authority, the deep connection of unity, and of course the urgency created by scarcity and consistency. These are the go-to tools for pretty much anyone trying to be more influential.
But here's the thing, and it's a big thing. Way too often, people just grab one of these principles and hope for the best. It's a strategy that the SUE Behavioral Design Academy has a perfect name for: spray and pray. You just pick a tool, spray it on the situation, and pray that it works.
Okay, so let's walk through a super common scenario where this spray and pray thing just, well, it completely backfires, even when it looks like all the right moves are being made.
So, picture this. You've got a manager, right? And she has this amazing project. I mean, the data is solid, the business case is a slam dunk, it's all ready to go. The only thing she needs is the budget approval from her director. So, what does she do? First, she tries the authority principle. Makes sense. She brings in a highly respected external expert who totally validates the plan, confirms all the data. But no, still a no.
Okay, not giving up yet. Next up, she pivots. She tries social proof, presenting this detailed report showing what all the competitors are doing and how they're already crushing it with similar projects.
And the result? Still no budget. After using 2 of Cialdini's heavy hitters, back to back, she gets rejected again. Now she's just totally confused. What went wrong?
And here's the crucial question. Why did these supposedly foolproof principles fail? Well, here's the big twist. The principles didn't fail. Her strategy did. She was just throwing tools at a problem without ever figuring out what the real resistance was.
And this, right here, is where we get to the heart of it. This is the missing piece of the puzzle, that diagnostic layer that shows you when, and even more importantly, why you should use each one of Cialdini's powerful tools.
It's called the SU Influence Framework, and it's all about one thing: diagnosing the situation before you even think about which tool to grab from the toolbox. It's about understanding the real human psychology at play.
So, the framework breaks it down into 4 core forces. Think of it like a push and pull. On one side, you've got the drivers for change: pains, the frustrations pushing someone away from where they are, and gains, the good stuff pulling them towards something new. And then you've got the blockers, comforts, the inertia of just staying put, and anxieties, the fears that hold them back. Okay, so let's go back to our manager. Her big mistake? She was so focused on building her case with authority and social proof. But the director's real problem was something else entirely. It was a deep-seated anxiety. She wasn't really thinking about the data. She was thinking, what if this whole thing fails and I'm the one who gave it the green light?
Now this is where it all clicks into place. Because it turns out, Cialdini's principles map perfectly onto these 4 forces. And this insight is what turns a simple toolbox into a high-precision instrument.
So, if the real blocker is anxiety, like it was for our director, then yeah, authority and social proof are the perfect tools. But why? Because their real job isn't just about adding more facts. It's about making someone feel safer. They exist to lower that feeling of uncertainty and risk. But what if the problem isn't fear? What if someone is just comfortable? Stuck in their ways. In that case, reciprocity is your go-to. A small, unexpected favor or gift does wonders to just gently disrupt that inertia and create a social opening for them to consider a change.
And what about this one? The person is almost there, they see the benefits, they get the gains, but they're just hesitating. That's the prime time for scarcity. It amplifies the pain of potentially missing out and gives them a very compelling reason to act now instead of later.
So, when you put this all together, how does it change the game? Well, it completely flips the script. It transforms influence from a random game of chance into a deliberate, thoughtful system of design. This is the fundamental shift, right here. You're moving away from that spray and pray guesswork, and you're moving toward what we can call persuasion by design. You're no longer just a gambler hoping to get lucky. You're an architect with a blueprint.
So look, the big takeaway here is not that Cialdini's principles are wrong or overrated. Not at all. They're as powerful as they've ever been. They were just missing the context, that strategic layer that finally tells you exactly how and when to use them to their full potential.
So, at the end of the day, true influence isn't just about knowing a bunch of techniques. It's about really understanding the person in front of you, diagnosing their hidden problem, and then helping them solve it. Now you have both the tools and the blueprint. The only question is, what are you going to build?